are very few of those, and the ones that are mostly just private schools, and one has to pay money to get this. However, a survey showed that some parents don't want to pay that money, so they cannot get what they want and admit their children into a single-gender school. However, if we were to make the public school a single-gender, then those parents who would like to send their kids to single-gender schools could send their kids to single-gender schools. Also, many people think that it will help broaden the gap between boys and girls, but I don't think that's true because accept it.
How are single-sex schools going to benefit the society?
Single-sex schools will benefit society because, for example, some girls will have a better chance to try male-dominated subjects such as math or science, whereas boys will be able to try out some feminine-dominated subjects such as like art or music or poetry without other people judging them.
Isn't that a little bit sexist saying that those subjects are specifically for boys and those subjects are specifically for women?
I did not mean to say that only boys can try math and science, but it seems that in our society, it seems that like math and science are deemed more masculine, and like arts or music or poetry are deemed more feminine. And then I said that if there are single-gender schools, then it will be easier for each individual gender to express themselves in each way. Also, a study conducted by BBC showed that the exam results were better for girls who attended single-gender schools, whereas, accepted?
Where are you getting your information from?
BBC. And also, it showed that other people would do better in their exams, whereas they got good exams, 75% in a single-gender school. Accepted?
So, are you saying that if like the both genders are in the same school, that like their marks would lower or like yeah?
That is what the research indicates, that 55% of students in co-ed schools get good exam rates, whereas 75% in single-gender schools get better exam rates. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Hello everyone, judges, teachers, coaches, and students. My name is Mira, and may I please take the pleasure to introduce my fellow teammates, Shavana, Kamara, and Zaki. We represent Earnscliffe Sr. Public School. Today, we will advocate why single-sex schools are bad for education. Children need to be exposed to the opposite sex in preparation for a later life. The formative years of children are the best time to expose them to the company of the other gender, in order that they may learn each other's behavior and be better prepared for adult life. Moreover, the school's role is to prepare its students for life, which involves interaction between the sexes. By preventing intersexual interaction, we hurt the role of the school significantly. The effects of same-sex schools are significant. This creates segregation between men and women. This, which as a result of lack of contact between them, can create fear and uneasiness. Shouldn't the children learn to adjust? And what if another person from a different gender helps them? Isn't that a great benefit? Aren't single-sex schools preventing to create a diverse community? Accepted.
Can't you have the same experience at home?
With the other? No, I do not believe so. This might be compatriot to the segregation between black and white in the USA or South Africa, where the resulting racism and troubles to bond has yet to heal. We already live in a society where women are discriminated against. answer to this. Furthermore, the number of subjects benefiting from single-sex discussion is so small that this could easily be organized with the co-educational system. Furthermore, even if girls naturally perform better without boys, they need to learn how to perform just as well with boys. Dr. Alan Smithers, a respected British schools expert, declared in a 2006 report that distraction by boys was a myth and that half a century of research has not shown any dramatic or consistent advantages for single-sex education for boys or girls. In conclusion, single-sex schools are bad for education. Thank you.
Greetings, Mr. Speaker. First, I would like to rebut my opponent's argument. Even as they stated that there's an extremely slight increase in results from single-sex schools to co-ed schools. Even a slight advantage could help a lot. You could get a better job, and you can earn more money, which would make you better off in life. Also, she stated that you have to experience how it's like to be with another person of another gender. You can easily do that in public places, like at a recreational center like the YMCA. Swimming classes or martial arts, they're all with other genders. And even at home, you have your siblings and maybe your mother and cousins to be with, they might be of the other gender. I would like to also introduce my argument, which is the psychological benefits of being accepted.
You said that being in a single-sex institution will help them get a better job, but how do you figure?
I will explain that further in my argument. And I already stated before that there are you get higher results in exams because boys and girls' learning styles differ. I would like to introduce the psychological benefits of accepted.
So you know how you stated before that I stated that they need to be exposed to the opposite sex when they're like with opposite sex, but can't they what if they find a very a nice person and then they have to shouldn't they think that shouldn't they know that they're comfortable with that person instead of meeting them in public spaces, whereas school you know at least a little bit of them.
As I said before, there are other classes outside of school where you can go regularly. Like my martial arts class, I go there thrice every week where there are girls and boys. And to continue my argument, the psychological benefits of single gender schools are that boys learn differently from girls, and according to BBC, boys have learned better when the information is presented visually and they actually do something with the information. Girls learn better. Accepted?
Where are you getting your information from?
As said before, I got my information from BBC. And girls learn better when the information is presented verbally. And boys need to be moving. Boys personally need to be moving. Accepted?
That isn't true for all girls and all boys, is it?
I'm talking about most of the population, 75% or more. And a different learning styles in a co-ed school would not work as there are different genders in one class. And in co-ed, in single-sex schools, there is, you can personalize the learning styles for your children or your students to learn much better than they would in co-ed schools. Thank you for your time.
Single-sex schools are a manifestation of the patriarchal society. Single-sex institutions are a throwback to the patriarchal society of the past. In many historical cultures, only men were allowed to receive an education of any sort. To perpetuate this is to remind women of their past observances and to continue to hold them against full social inclusion. In India, where the colonial yoke of British rule remains, the national average between male and female literacy is 16.7%, with some districts as high as 28%. Single-sex schools discourage female education and make it increasingly difficult for parents to find room in many limited single-sex education schools. A push for single-sex education schools is therefore predicted on outdated, moronic, and destructive gender stereotypes.
You said that single-sex schools discourage females to learn. However, I don't think that's the case because there's in co-ed schools a higher ratio of boys to girls, so that might make them feel discouraged. However, in a school full of females, that would prove to them that females can actually learn and it would help their confidence more. Do you agree?
Well, as much as it can help their confidence, they may think, oh, why do men only get single-sex schools? What about us girls? Are we not equal to them? And therefore, this can discourage their education. In conclusion, a single-sex school is a manifestation of a patriarchal society which can hurt many women's careers. Accepted.
You said that they would be equal, but I do not understand how a single-sex school of males and a single-sex school of females would actually make it that males get an advantage or that they are equal. I do not understand.
The meaning of this is that if males were to only have a single-sex school for themselves, wouldn't women see this as unequal to them?
But females also have their own schools.
There are no follow-up questions, sorry. Thank you.
That's some good coaching right there.
Hello all. I would like to conclude this debate by reinstating my point that single-gender schools are better for society. Now, first I would like to start off by refuting the last point. The last point stated that it was patriarchal and it was discouraging women in schools to learn since there's already a single-gender school for males. I think that's wrong. Because when males have their own gender school, they can learn what they want. When females have their own gender school, they can learn whatever they want without any gap or differentiation. Now, I would like to conclude our argument. So in conclusion, gender schools with choice of talent would be better because we would have a much more equilateral society. When women learn what they want to learn, they can grow up to do whatever they want, such as male-dominated subjects. This would create much more of an equal stake in society when we all grow up, and this would help spur more innovations than we have today. Stereotypes would be eliminated as we come out with the same mindset. And even if you say that them not meeting each other in school would affect how they would grow up, they meet each other at recreational centers and they meet each other at home. Also, adaptations for these different genders are different, such as how males want cooler environments and females want warmer environments. If we had all of these adaptations taken care of, we would have a better society. Thus, I would like to conclude we want to reinforce the single-gender schools. Thank you.
been stated that women are better off in single-sex schools. They are not better off in single-sex schools. They don't show any academic improvement from co-ed schools to single-sex schools. All present the same instruction and education. Also, the curriculum should be molded to suit both gender and slower learners. If any boys do repeat grades, that's more of the quality of the learning than the girls in the classroom. Boys and girls are good influence on each other. Good behavior and maturity as teen girls are usually more responsible than teen boys. Competition is good in school and can motivate children to work their hardest. They can make the opposite gender seem like they're single-sex schools can make the opposite gender seem like they're only for dates, rather classmates. Thank you.